I have a complicated relationship with Blue Box. On one hand, it has spectacular art and animation, and it really digs into the nuances of romance. On the other hand, it's a very long-winded show, and juggles a bunch of sports storylines in with the romance. I mean, how often do you see 25 episodes of an anime in this genre without significant progress in the main couple? I will admit that I found this a bit frustrating, especially when I was binging the entire season. But now that I've been sitting with it for a while, I think I'm able to take Blue Box for what it is, rather than what I want it to be. This anime is not optimistic, at least in the first season. I am hopeful that things may finally turn in the upcoming season 2. But in what we've seen on the screen so far, love is not exactly a walk in the park. We've seen doubts, and unrequited feelings, and heartbreak far more than we've seen the joys of romance. When combined with all of these sports plot lines, there is a pervasive sense of struggle that consumes Blue Box. More than anything else, I think this anime is concerned with what makes someone worthy of love. Feelings swirl for long periods before ever coming to light, and even if a couple is together, both of them must work to remain deserving of that connection. I think this perspective is responsible for a lot of the things that I really like about this show, and also most of the parts that really frustrate me. It's kind of like a bitter note in an otherwise sweet dessert. Even if it's not appealing on its own, you can appreciate it in the context. So, how does Blue Box manifest this idea of being worthy of love? And what does it do to make the characters and their relationships really unlike any other shows in the genre? The lifeblood of romance anime are the moments shared between the characters. It's where we get to see the relationship grow and change, and love really blossom. Moments alone are often reserved for particularly poignant reflection, sprinkled in to provide context for the aforementioned interpersonal scenes. Blue Box takes almost the complete opposite approach. We spend so much time in the heads of Taiki and Chinatu and Hina, mulling over their most vulnerable feelings. These internal monologues link together across scenes, weaving the very fabric of the story. It is the moments between them that can feel more obscure, hinting at emotions but rarely putting them out in the open. We look at the quiet moments alone to explain those active times, a reversal of the usual order. The sports scenes are no different either. They are lively and intense, but stark in their opaqueness. Once again, they are merely providing context for the endless battles inside each of our friends' minds. Introspection is the vast ocean of this story. The moments of connection, small islands dotting the deep blue. The characters are islands as a result too, lost in the expanse that is their hopes and dreams and affections and fears and doubts. This landscape is where that idea of being worthy thrives. Taiki is our main character, and from the very start he is consumed by his admiration for Chinatu. He is infatuated with her, but more in the way that someone obsesses over a celebrity. You can't love someone that you don't really know. This all changes though when Chinatu moves in with his family. As they get to know each other, feelings grow between them, but not quite how you might expect. Taiki can't see past the pedestal he puts Chinatu on, as impressed by her as he is interested in her. The core driver of his badminton success is that he wants to live up to her accomplishments, be worthy of being her partner. The most surprising thing to me, though, was that this show doesn't knock down that idea, emphasize that that's not how love works. No, instead we get to watch Taiki continue to work towards this goal. The others tease him about wanting to be with Chinatu, an implicit agreement with this assessment that he's not worthy of her. And maybe the most fascinating of all is the relationship between Karen and Kengo. They're already together, and yet the pressure to be worthy of love is maybe more intense than ever. They love each other deeply, and yet do not want to be together if that love ever gets in the way of their dreams and aspirations. If I don't show her what I can do here, what am I good for? Kengo asks himself this when he's losing in a game of badminton. I'm sorry, but this is not aspirational to me. It sounds more stressful than anything. But I'm not trying to let my personal biases in. What I do see is that love in Blue Box really seems to be about lifting up our loved ones, and then trying to live up to how we see them. Love is the fight to be the best version of ourselves for that one person we cherish more than anything else. Through that lens, it does sound quite romantic, doesn't it? So, Hina is my favorite character in this first season, but I'm not actually going to be talking about her here. I have an entire video dedicated to observing her and Yuki from Horimiya as tragic characters. I'll put the link in the description. I also have a song I made at the end of that one. You should check it out. Chinatu, though, is maybe the most fascinating character to me in this anime. She's the one put up on the pedestal by most of the other characters, and isn't particularly interested in romance at the start. This removes her from a lot of these conceptions of love, and she's kind of like a black box of emotions, hard to read. Chinatu does, though, have a lot of ideas about herself that she wants to be worthy of. Her dedication to basketball is singular, obsessive in that pursuit of her best self. It's why losing is so devastating, and why imagining diverting time away from basketball for romance is so hard for her. As her subconscious develops feelings for Taiki, she will act in ways that let those feelings slip out, but it doesn't get through to her active mind. This cognitive dissonance is its own form of pushing romance away, but from the other direction that Taiki is approaching it from. As season 2 approaches, I'm really interested to see how she, presumably, will resolve this to become closer to Taiki. Blue Box is really interested in exploring how we view our loved ones. Why do we care so much about them? And how do we compare ourselves to them? Its main cast of characters are submerged in this idea, constantly measuring themselves up to their ideas of who they love, and who they think they should be. While this can frustrate me sometimes, it is undoubtedly what gives Blue Box its own feel in such a thoroughly covered genre. And if they land the plane with some real resolution to these percolating feelings in the upcoming season, this may end up being a really special stage on which that romance plays out. And that ends today's episode of Love and Anime. If you enjoyed the video today and like video essays about romance, anime, and romance anime, liking and subscribing helps a ton and will keep you in the loop, as does hitting the hype button on the mobile app. I'm Slam Anime, and I'll see you next time.